Hey everybody, welcome to the Sugar Sweet. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make these super easy mango buns at home. You can use them as burger buns, you can use them as sandwich rolls, you can use them for sliders, you can use for many different things. You can serve it along with soups and salads as a dinner roll. The choices with this is endless. You'll be able to find the recipe for today's demonstration in the description box. Please subscribe to the Sugar Sweet with notifications so you'll be notified of my new uploads. So first we're going to begin by making our sponge, which is quarter cup of flour and 1 package of instant yeast, and then I'm going to add to this some warm water, and then we're just going to mix that together. And then I'm going to let this sit for 15 minutes. I'm going to cover this with some plastic wrap and allow this to sit for 15 minutes. So I'm using my Geek Chef blender, and I am going to put my regular blade in, and then I have one mango that I've peeled and just cut into chunks, and then I'm going to add to this my hot water. This just helps puree the mango smoother. Then I'm going to just puree this as smooth as I can. Now we're going to pour this through a sieve. And then I'm going to pour this through a sieve because I just want the juice. And you're only going to need about a half a cup. You're going to need exactly half a cup of juice. So I have here almost a half a cup, so I'm going to just add some water to top it off. Let's bring it to a half a cup. I'm going to just stir that together. Now if you find that your mango is thick and it's not runny, like you see here, just add some water to it to top it off. So what I'm going to do is add the brown sugar to our sponge here that we made earlier. I'm going to turn it on low, and I'm going to add my I'm going to add my eggs to it. Just going to mix them until it's broken apart. Now what I'm going to do is add 2 cups of the flour, and after adding 2 cups of the flour, I'm going to add the cornstarch, salt, I'm going to add the mango juice. Also I'm going to add vanilla, and then I'm going to add some softened butter. It's been out for like an hour. It's very soft. You don't want to add cold butter to it because you don't want to drop the temp. So I'm going to mix this until it comes together, and then we're going to mix this with the paddle attachment for 2 minutes. This helps develop the gluten structures. So I'm going to mix this on medium speed for 2 minutes. So it's been 2 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and turn the machine off. I'm going to pull this dough off the paddle dough. Pull the dough off the paddle here. Now we're going to switch to the dough hook. And we're going to make a dough that is sticky, but it's going to begin to pull away from the sides of the bowl. So I'm going to add half cup more flour, and then we're going to slowly add more flour as needed. Now keep in mind, we've already added a lot of flour. We added a 1/4 cup in the beginning to make the sponge, and then we added 2 cups, so that's 2 1/4 cups, and then we just added another 1/2 cup, which makes it at 2 3/4 cups of flour. So it's starting to pull away from the sides of the bowl here. I'm just going to let this go for a minute. See how much dough pulls away from the side of the bowl. I might have to help it along here. I'm going to stop the machine for a minute. So what I'm going to do is just scrape down the top of the bowl here, just to make sure no flour or anything is stuck. Pull this one off the dough hook, just give it one good scrape. Now we're going to let this go for just a few seconds, just to see where we're at. A good way to test the dough is if you touch it, it still feels sticky, but it doesn't really stick to your fingers. It's still quite sticky. So this is what we want. So I'm going to let this go on medium speed for about 5 minutes. Medium-high speed for 5 minutes. Okay, so it's been 5 minutes. I'm going to turn the machine off. I'm going to take my rubber spatula here, and I'm going to scrape down the bowl. We're not going to worry about kneading the dough. We're not going to roll it onto the surface or none of that. A little bit, but before I finish pulling it out, I'm going to spray a bowl down with, I just got some regular vegetable oil. And then I'm going to take my dough here, scrape it out, and we're going to put it into our oiled glass bowl. And one tip I forgot to mention is your mangoes needs to be at room temperature. I had them out for a few hours before I even attempted to work with them. You put it in a bowl, flip it, so that way both sides can be oiled. Then I'm going to take some plastic wrap and cover it, and I'm going to let this rise for 2 hours. Another good tip to also, I'm going to just spray the film down with spray the plastic wrap with spray, so that when the dough rises it doesn't stick to it. So we're back in 2 hours. So I'm going to show you guys my dough, and it's been 2 hours and 15 minutes. You may think it's not going to rise, just be very patient, wait. But when you press it with your finger and you see it doesn't spring back, it leaves a dent, that means it's risen properly. So I'm going to just punch the dough down, kind of knead it slightly. We're going to do 4 equal parts. And I'm going to divide those. So we're good. I divided it into 12 pieces, 12 equal sized pieces. And what I'm doing is just grabbing the outside and I'm pulling it inward. And then I'm going to pinch the bottom and then press it in. This prevents you from having any seams. I'm going to put this into a 9x13 baking dish. Then I'm going to spray down with baking spray. I'm going to line them up, and I'll show you how I'm going to line them in the pan. But again, I'm just grabbing the outsides of the dough and just pulling it inward. This pulls out any extra air that's in that dough, and then this again prevents you from having a seam. So I got a total of 12 rolls here, and a nice left about a ½ inch space in between each one, and because they're going to rise, and then they're going to rise even more when they're baked. So the egg white that we have here, I have the egg white. I'm going to add like a teaspoon of water to that, and I'm going to take my whisk and I'm going to just whisk the two together, just breaking that egg white up very well. And that's how you know it's almost broken apart. Okay, so it's broken apart pretty good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to brush this down with the egg wash, and then we're going to do a second egg wash afterwards. This gives us a chance to really brush it down without knocking any of the air out, and then when we do our second wash, we'll do it very gently. So just while you can, brush it down as much as you can, because this is going to be your only chance. I'm going to cover this with some plastic wrap, then I'm going to spray with some non-stick spray so that way it doesn't stick to the plastic wrap as they rise, and we're going to let these rise for 45 minutes. I sprayed it. I'm just going to place it on top. So, like I said, the spray keeps it from sticking. Let it rise 45 minutes. So it's been about 50 minutes, and I'm going to go ahead and give it a second brush with that egg white or egg wash. And this time when we do it, we're just going to do it gently because you don't want to press any of the air out. So you don't have to worry about being as pedantic as you was the first time. Okay, so this is going to go in a preheated 350-degree Fahrenheit oven for 20 to 25 minutes, or until the tops are nice and golden brown, and until they release 190 degrees Fahrenheit when taking temp with an instant read thermometer. So here are my mango rolls, and I just want to show you that these are beautiful. They're nice and soft. If you want to see what the insides of these are going to look like, head over to my cooking channel because I'm going to use these to make beef sliders, and they're going to be absolutely fabulous. Please add this video to your playlist, and if you have a recipe request, please leave that in the comments section because I'll definitely do my best to try to make it. Thank you so much everyone who's ordered items from my wish list. I really appreciate all of you guys' support, as this is what I'm doing full time. And thank you so much for watching The Sugary Sweet, where we're making the world a little bit sweeter.